makes most women start a business? Is it passion, money, or freedom? Welcome to Female Founders, the podcast that takes you behind the scene with women who are founders and CEOs to help you start and scale a successful business of your own. I am your host, Nagelia de Ravin. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Female Founders. In today's episode, I have the pleasure of speaking with Marquita Angelina Hopkins. Marquita is the creator of BizCube, an advanced software company that has transformed how businesses handle website building, e-commerce, marketing automation, and graphics template. Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. I'm excited to talk to you about BizCube and all the great work you have been doing. So what inspired you to pursue a career in technology, and how did you first get involved in this field?
Well, my endeavor was a long one. I started in my early 20s within the marketing industry as a photographer and designer. And I kind of noticed that I appreciated working behind the scenes more versus taking photographs of people. So when Adobe hit the scene, I kind of took off with that. That was my endeavor into the whole technological. And from there, I went into web design and programming and things like that.
So pretty much you like to be behind the scene instead of being the front end. So you're the type of people that likes to make all the great things you see in the front end. It's them, but they don't take credit for anything.
Right. That's me. I like being behind the scenes.
But did you went to school for it? Is that something you taught yourself?
Well, I went to school for marketing, and I'm almost done with my MBA now, but my undergrad is in marketing. And yeah, the web design and programming is self-taught. I just learned, I had a small scholarship for women that code through a community college locally here. And from there, I just taught myself, as, technology is always evolving. And so the code changes and updates. And so, yeah, pretty much self-taught. For the most part, nothing degreed, but I do love anything to do with web applications.
That's fascinating. It's the fact that you went to school for marketing and you end up having a passion for technology instead. Yeah. But do you use marketing at all?
Oh, yes. Well, now in the 21st century, marketing and technology has merged, so to speak. So now I am considered what we would call a MarTech as expert. So anything to do with like CRMs, I'm pretty well versed in, as well as developing those technologies or the integration of those technologies. That's also within my wheelhouse, integrating them into web applications, websites, apps, for your phone, things like that. That's pretty much all of it is under the marketing hood now. As well as the UX part of it, the user experience and how to, incorporate them to help you gain market share or, users for your applications. That's pretty much what we do.
So pretty much you take your passion and combine it with your education and boom.
Yep.
So why do you went back for an MBA?
I guess just for me, I love to learn, and it's weird, but I'll probably go back for a second master's after this in data analytics, or go to law school, whichever one. I'm contemplating between those two right now. I think part-time. So, as a working mom, I'm like, oh, wow, they have part-time law school now. I can go for my JD. So
they do?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Through Cleveland State here, which is a local university. They now have a part-time JD program, and it's hybrid. It can be online and in person. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
that is cool.
With the times, I know. I was really excited to see that. So
how long is that program will be if you decide to go with it?
About 4 years, I believe, part-time.
Part-time. Oh, if you go full-time, you can probably finish it in 2 years.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know how I would do that in work. So so I have to maybe do the part-time thing. With my MBA, it's taken me almost 5 years to finish, but I'm about to finish now. This is my last term.
That's the way it is when it's come to being a mom. And I know how you feel where you are right now because I've been there. I took my master in psychology, my MBA, and also taking my PhD with my son.
Oh, wow.
It's like doing all that and being a parent and running a business. It's difficult.
Oh,
So
gosh.
it's a lot. But so now, how did your experience working with small businesses influence the development of BizCube?
Well, so BizCube, of course, the main feature is a website builder. And so, of course, there's many of them out there, many choices to select from. The reason I developed BizCube is because most small businesses, especially like solopreneurs wanting to start out within the consulting and coaching industry specifically, and even some in like the restaurant industry, they were just priced out of the market for those, for anything like ClickFunnels or lead pages and things like that. They want the ability to build funnels so that they can inbound new users, but they don't have the capital for it. The reason I developed it is I was trying to figure out a way, how can I incorporate or integrate technologies and still make it affordable for that solopreneur or small business owner? And that's how BizCube was kind of created. I wrote the plans originally back in 2019, but I did not really go into the MVP status until around 2021, 22, and started developing the framework from there. And
So go ahead.
Oh, I was just with our early adopters. They help feed me, give us like the feedback loop on the whole development of the interface.
So now, can you kind of give us an idea of when you get into BizCube, what as a small business owner, what would I expect when I get there?
Sure. Well, we have about a little over 200 plus templates to assist you with website design. So pretty much you don't have to start from scratch. You can go and select a template and just edit the information, edit the photos. And we have pre-developed funnels as well for inbounding new users, or that you can, incorporate with your AdWord or social media campaigns. Those are all templated as well. And you can just go in and change the information, change the graphics. It pretty much helps you speed up the process of getting online. In addition to that, it also has a CRM and automation functions. So you can kind of create that personalized touch as you build your campaigns. As your users are coming in, they're getting emails from you. They're saying like, "Hey, thanks for joining us," or someone will be in touch with you. Whatever kind of feedback loop you have going on, whether it's an automation that's saying thank you, or if it's more personalized, where they're being tagged and you're sending them more drips of information on a product that they've already inquired about. So it's more so to help create that personalized touch that keeps your audience engaged. And all of that is a part of BizCube.
And all of that can be done under one platform.
Right. Correct. Thank you.
So now, when you say the CRM, does that mean they can use it like like a normal CRM where import the clients and then do email communications, all these things within it, or does some?
Yes, that is correct. They can import their list and they can do email marketing along with the automation functions. So they can create the one-off campaigns, or they can have the automation sequences that are already pre-developed. We have quite a few of them that are now pre-developed within there, depending on the industry. We have like an abandoned cart sequence where we have a lot of dentists that are currently utilizing the system for their in-house programs because of a lot of the dental insurance issues that have been going on the last few years. A lot of dentists have taken their pricing in-house, where they're kind of like creating their own programs to offer, or discount plans, I should say, to offer their patients. So we've actually had quite a few dentists come on board with that, because that was more of a piloted program that we were trying out. Is becoming pretty successful, along with coaches who are creating their courses, and they have sequences that are, catered to those specific sequences, such as like course 1, course 2, and course 3. All of that's automated within the platform.
So does that mean that the platform can be connected to the website?
Yes, it is. Well, all of it is connected to the website. Like, it's website and email marketing and automation all in one platform.
All in one platform. So they've pretty much, if they don't need to go build a website on their own, they can just come to BizCube, build a website, connect everything else. It's like a one package all at once.
Right.
So now can they actually, let's say, for example, they have a domain name with another company. Can they connect the domain name into your platform?
Yes. All of that we have like support videos for, or they can set up a Zoom support call with one of our customer service reps, and they'll assist them through that process. Most often people are just purchasing the domains through a domain provider, but then you still have to, connect the domain to your website. And so we assist with that, along with email and all of that.
But a new feature do you plan on of having where they can purchase the domain from you instead of going outside and do that?
We are looking into that for 2024. Right now, in 2023, it was mainly just building out some of the current features, but that is something that we are looking at for 24 because we've had quite a few people inquire about that.
That would be great, because if they can buy, especially if they can also buy the domain from you, that's mean that the email, everything can be connected automatically without worrying about it.
Exactly.
But the idea you had, you launched, is amazing, because it's helped a lot, especially for coaches and small business owners that's not tech savvy. Because I know I have clients sometimes that reach out, hey, how do I do this? I'm like, that's easy. How you don't know how to do it? But I have to back up myself sometimes, like, okay, not everyone is tech savvy as I am. So, and I had to go online and look for some sort of videos, and here's how you can do this. And then it's very simple and easy. Even then, sometimes they're like, can you do it for me instead? Because we can't. So I think that your platform will be, especially they get that support, Zoom support, which a lot of companies, they don't offer that right now. Like a Zoom, they will probably can call them, but not a Zoom call. Like, that's very special.
It's used a lot. That has been one of the perks or main features that people have raved about are the Zoom support functions. So, you don't have to be tech savvy. I know some of our oldest users are in their 70s. It's pretty cool. And if they're getting it, and they are, I see them logging in all the time, working within their BizCube. Is pretty awesome. So and it's hard to find that balance between, the user experience, having it being, functional and also easy to use. So
I think that's the key, because if it's not easy to use, most people will walk away from it because they don't want to put the time behind it. But also, I think that you are making it easy for them. Not only do they can watch videos, tutorial videos that can teach them, but they also can book a Zoom call. So never heard of it. You don't hear that too often right now, not after COVID.
Right. Well, the main thing I really wanted to emphasize throughout BizCube is service and support. And so I'm willing to, spend out the extra money for the Zoom support because, for one, believe it or not, they're not very long. And usually it's something that can be resolved. Like our average call time is like 5 minutes. So I think if it provides a better experience for the user, that's something I plan to keep and just expand out.
But what is your goal for BizCube? Is that something, where do you see it going? How big do you see it go?
I'm still trying to figure that part out. Right now, we are on pace to reach around 1,000 users by the end of the year. We've been growing steadily month over month. So I'm very excited about that. Hopefully, I guess, to just see where it takes me. This is my first software as a service development. I wanted to kind of give it a test trial run to see how it would grow. And, the website builder market is like $1 billion industry. So it's like a good market share out there that a lot of companies has access to. So I think I would like to see it potentially being bought out in the future. Maybe or partnering with like another major company or corporation. It's still up in the air. I don't really have like the long-term goal yet, but just more short-term status goes. But right now, I'm very excited about the new users coming on, and I've met a lot of great people and spoken to a lot of great like solopreneurs and business owners, and I've learned a lot from them too. So just seeing the different diversity of companies that are coming in, from attorneys to restaurants to coaches. It's great to kind of, chat with them because I do some of the Zoom support myself. and get to know their business and, their objectives and what they wish to contribute to the world. It's pretty cool.
And isn't that the most exciting part of a company when you get to actually speak with your clients? And sometimes it's kind of like a client will call, they're like, wait, I get to talk to you? I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Because I love it, because I learn something every single day. And you're right with that. You get to learn something new. And you also get to know how they feel about the product and how can you make it better.
Right.
And what are they looking for? So I think that what you are doing is great. It's like the best thing you could do for the future of the company itself.
Absolutely. And we always have a constant feedback loop coming in. They can provide feedback. We send out periodic surveys. So it's been a great experience. And I just wanted, the main purpose I wanted to serve is just giving those new business owners a chance to grow. I mean, without that price point, that's going to hurt their pockets. Not everyone has $1,200 a year to shove out. And those are just starter plans for a lot of the functions that BizCube does have and other builders. And so that was mainly my reason for even building it, just interviewing small business owners throughout the United States. I've consulted with quite a few of them over the years. I have about 20 years under my belt. And that's always been the main part, is it's so hard to get started because we can't find a product that is truly meant for a small business owner. They're just too expensive or, too complex, both.
Yeah, too complicated to use.
Right.
But that brings me to another question. Let's say that someone that's already have a website, they don't actually need a website. Can they still use your platform without using the website functionality?
They can, although the website builder is the main feature. Our automation system and email marketing, it has some nice features to it, but it's not it's not super robust, such as like Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign, only because it's not really meant to be. Because again, it's about finding that balance between the non-techie and their ability to utilize the platform without feeling overwhelmed. So while the automation system does have some nice features, it's not super advanced like ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft or Marquita or those other CRMs and automation systems out there. But it does get the job done for those who are not necessarily tech savvy, but wish to have those functions without feeling like, oh gosh, I'm on this really steep learning curve. Because most of the time they'll just purchase the product and not ever use it because they're scared of it. Pretty much they get behind that and they see the user interface and they're like, oh gosh, how do I use this? Whereas with BizCube, we really have like walkthrough videos. Anytime they hit any section of our interface, there's a pop-up video to introduce them to the area, to let them know how to use it. And that has been we've had great feedback and people have found it, the ease of use, good. I think I had one person say it was hard to learn. I mean, can't please everyone, but for the most part, the feedback has been extremely positive.
Unfortunately, that's the business part. You cannot please everyone. Even in your own personal life, you can't do that. You can't please everyone. You're going to find someone that doesn't like you. They didn't even say good morning to you yet. They just doesn't like you. So that's just the way it is. But I think that as long as most of your customers are happy with it, and you are, I think that the way you are doing it too is the best way to go. Like you said, it's like you open a section. In one section, you have a video that right there in front of you telling you this is how to use this. Right. All you have to do is click play. That cannot be that hard. So I think that's the first step to it. But pretty much, if I understand correctly, the main part of the platform is building the website. Everything else, it's kind of not an extra, a bonus to kind of help you to not be having many different type of
exactly.
software.
It is. It's an integration of different technologies. But we had to try to find that balance between not making the automation functions too comprehensive, because I mean, there's a lot. Like when you get even on the back of like ActiveCampaign, which is one of the more cost-effective products out there on the market, that interface looks intimidating, because there's so many things you can do with it. And we wanted to make sure that the interface looked friendly enough, and the automations are are useful for our users, but not too much to the point where they're on this steep learning curve. So it's not as comprehensive as Active Campaign, but it gets the job done for those who just wants to have that funnel, that ability to build a funnel and build sequences for their e-commerce store, for their coaching, for their consulting, or even if it's like a service business or subscriptions, it has those functions without that highly technical part that scares people off. There's so many small businesses I know that have came on board even from Active Campaign, and they were like, I had it for almost a year and I didn't use it because I didn't know how to.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So now, how's the pricing?
Our starter plans start at $29 a month, and that's for their annual plan. And if it's month to month, it's like $39 a month. So we try to make it very affordable as much as we can, because there are some technologies that we have to pay for as well that are integrated. But my whole purpose was to make it more so affordable for those solopreneurs and small business owners that are getting started, that really don't have a lot of capital. And that has been the main pain point for any business I have spoken to. The coaches and consultants, especially, they're like, hey, I'm just getting started and I have, all this content I wish to share, but, I don't have $1,200 a year right now, or I don't have $1,500 a year. Some of them are even $200 a month. Goes out to like $2,400 a year. Yeah. So.
So now, what have been some of the biggest challenges you face as a founder of of how do I say that? I think we call it SaaS.
Yes,
startup.
SaaS, yeah. A lot of that is the growth challenges, I guess, and trying to find the right fit for the vendors that are involved, and we have a lot of external vendors, and then the employees that are involved is trying to, make sure that no one's overworked.
Yeah.
And that everyone is doing the job properly, the monitoring of it. So I would say that's been my main challenge. And of course, the marketing part of it. A lot of our business comes in through affiliates. That's the main marketing point for us. But I think things like our social media gets ignored because I'm just so busy either doing Zoom support or training and things like that. That I would say is my pain point.
So now, do you have a plan to overcome all these challenges?
I do. I'm in the process of looking for a marketing manager or director. The thing is that those almost are now synonymous. They almost have the same function,
Sure.
Depending on the industries and the size of the companies. But that's my objective right now is interviewing the right candidates for that, which I just started this week.
And trust me, that's not easy anymore.
Oh, I believe it.
I mean, after COVID, if you try to hire anyone, it's
yeah.
If they say yes, they take the job, they don't show up, or they stay 1 week or two, they quit. And it's wasting the company time and money. And I think that's one of the one that I face personally. And what I would say to you, it's hang in there. You'll find the right people. It takes time, but
yes,
they are there.
Yes, and I believe you me. I have I have a director background, so I'm familiar with that, even in the corporate level to the small business level. But yeah, even this last week has been challenging. I've had a few people schedule interviews and didn't show up, and I'm not going to chase you for a job that you applied for. So it's just working through those things, or either I've met some great people, but they're just not qualified enough for the position as of yet for what I need at this time. But I do keep, resumes on file for anything that might come up in the future. So.
So now, can you tell us more about your plans to start a nonprofit to help newly released inmates, and how do you hope to make a positive impact in your community through this nonprofit?
Sure. Well, yes, that is something that is on my life plans bucket list, I should say. I had a couple close friends who I grew up with that were incarcerated, and just kind of like learning about their transition back into the community, was very hard for them, especially after doing a long time. One did almost 17 years and had to transition back, and that was very hard for them. So that was something that I'm like, I think we need more programs. They have a lot of them for women, but not for guys, not in my area at least, that would help the men transition back into the community. I know the women are pretty much taken care of. Upon my research, there were so many different organizations for that, but I think men are a little bit more, especially if they have like violent crimes. People are scared to deal with them, but they need to be transitioned back into society too, especially them, right? Yeah. So I think that's going to be the segment that I'm going to work with the most, are the violent crime gentlemen that are being released. Just hiring like the proper personnel for that, and counselors and things like that. But that's something that I'm very passionate about. I think it would help our community in the long run if they actually transition better versus just, getting out and kind of being left to their own accord. And they usually know what they know. And that's why I think offenders repeat, because they really don't know anything else,
They haven't been, especially if they go in at a very young age, like a teen that
Right.
Did something wrong, go in for, like you say, 17 years, get out as an adult. Now,
Right.
they spend their entire young adult life into a cell. So now, like, you're right, when you tell them they get out, so, well, what do? I haven't done anything my entire life, really, because I've been in there. So, yeah, you're right. I don't think that we have that many programs for that. And you're right. And a lot of time when I see them, they usually focus just on women and woman, not actually men. That will help. That will help, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Because their rate of reoffending is actually quite high, especially violent offenders. And I think that's because there are not a lot of programs for them, not for the men, and women, I think, have a much better support network versus the men. So that's like the segment I really do want to concentrate on. And that's something I really do. I plan to implement within like the next 5 years.
Especially when you talk about Black men or even Hispanic, I think that's the one that get lost a lot often. And,
absolutely.
And they go back to the street again because they end up in the wrong crowd again because they're trying to survive. And that's the only way they can find to survive. And then if you spend 17, 20 years, you get out, most people are not going to give you a job. It's not like you're going to apply for a corporate job. They're going to, oh, yeah, let me hire you. Right. Probably not going to happen. You end up with nothing to do for years.
Right. And I do have another now, and I know this is like anecdotal, so to speak, but a gentleman that was released after 22 years went in at 18. Yeah. But he has such a great support network that he's doing well, and as I'll be attending his wedding in a few months, so yeah, I mean, he did great. And so that's what actually inspired that thought. I'm like, gosh, we need more programs for men, because without that support network, who knows how he would have adjusted out here. But he did have a great family support. Not everyone has, So.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
So now, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs, those interested in career in technology or starting SaaS startups?
The main advice I can say is build in public, and definitely listen to your early adopters who are trying out your products. The mistakes I made early on was with my first minimum viable product is that I didn't really have a lot of users. And so I ended up trashing it and kind of starting from scratch. And that cost some money. So
oh, yeah.
If I could save you money, I would say, make sure that you are getting that feedback loop in place at the very beginning of development.
When you said at the beginning, you mean like before you launch it, you kind of do a beta release for people to try it out?
Well, yeah, you would do you would just build a minimum viable product, and get those early adopters in there that are using it and giving you that feedback as you make the iterations and things, and build out the features. So you just have minimum features. and get those users in there. You're offering it for free, of course, but at least then you have some kind of feedback loop going on. My I think downfall in the beginning is that I get so excited, I'll just build something, and then it turns out it wasn't as viable as I thought it was. So that's my advice.
Right.
Yeah.
So pretty much like you let your clients or your users tell you what they
Right.
are looking for, and you implement that instead.
Exactly. And I would say you start that research from the very beginning before you even, write the first line of code. You kind of have an idea of what the market's looking for. You can do that through the qualitative interviews, polling, all kind of different ways. Just joining the groups of your target demo. That's the best way.
Best way to go.
Yeah.
So now, how do you balance your professional responsibility as a founder with your personal interests, hobbies such as fitness, spending time with your family?
Well, fitness is very important to me, and so is my family. I tend to find a way, usually because I work remotely. I'm flexible, so having the flexibility with work is paramount, I think, with that. And then my fitness routine, well, I do late nights and early mornings often, or long lunch breaks, but I get it in there.
So, looking ahead, what are your goals for? I know that you have a plan to add the nonprofits, and then you would love perhaps to partner with big organization for BizCube. Anything else you envision for the company?
For BizCube, at this time, just building out more features and hopefully bringing in more users and trying to grow that more. And personally, on like another professional level, I wish to develop. I'm actually in the process of developing another company for e-commerce that will probably have all of its inventory by the end of this year. That's very slow going. That's just more so in honor of my dad and my grandmother. And
You
other
have
than
a
that,
lot.
yeah, I'm type A. I like new projects. I don't know what it is. I just like always building up new stuff and seeing what I can do with it. It's fun.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So you're doing that for your grandparents?
Right. For my grandmother and my dad, I'm building, I guess I don't want to call it like a brand because I'm not even one that wears brands, so to speak, but I'm naming the company after them, Daisy James, and it's going to be a clothing and beauty retailer. So I'm in the process now of negotiating with suppliers and manufacturers. Some things will have custom work and others will just be, purchased in bulk. Yeah. But it's slow building.
So you have
it's to honor them.
something exciting for next year.
Right.
So how can someone sign up for BizCube?
Sure. You could go to bizcubesolutions.com and you can do a free trial. There's no credit card required for 14 days.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you decide to go with it, you would just opt in by adding your credit card and signing up for our annual or monthly subscriptions. There are 3 different subscription types. The professional and business plan also includes document templates, document and graphic templates, like things that you can download to utilize for social media, or contracts that you can download to utilize for vendors, or like marketing plan templates and things like that. We try to really help our solopreneurs and like our small businesses really, take off and not have to start from scratch. So most people don't know how to build a marketing plan from scratch. So we just provide a template there to help them along.
Do you plan on providing the service where you can help them build it?
Yeah, we do have full service options as well. We offer those. But I would say that's only about 25% of our business. Most people usually sign on to build it themselves because our templates are very comprehensive. Like all you have to do really is just go in and switch out content and graphics and you have yourself a website.
And that's it.
Yep.
Before I let you go, anything else you'd like to share with us?
Let me see. I don't think anything else at this time other than this has, been a great opportunity. I appreciate your having me on your webinar here and podcast. Very exciting.
Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you because I was very curious what BizCube is all about and why they just started it. And it's a passion, something that you have a passion for technology, mixing it with marketing, which is amazing. And it's great that to also to see all the things that other women brought up to the table. And I don't think that a lot of people realize that our percentage of hard work that we put into this world as well. So it's good that I love to speak with other women, and then I love to let them know I appreciate it, because like you said, you have kids and then they are watching you. They see what you are doing every single day. So you are kind of like preparing them as well for their own adventure in this world. Hey, mom did this, mom did that. So it's kind of like they look up to that and they will go out there, create something even better than you could.
That's the plan.
And that's the whole purpose of it. So we live pretty much, we are shaping our next generation to be better.
That's true. That is so true. Absolutely. Building that legacy for them to live after.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you for listening to Female Founders Podcast. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or connect with us on womel.com so that you don't miss our next episode. See you next time. Bye for now.